All right, so in the last few modules, Kevin has been kind of breaking down the anatomy of an Amazon listing, the title, the bullet points, the description, the back-end search terms. Now we're going to start talking about putting it all together in these next two modules. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that in Helium 10. Again, I'm pretty sure that all of you have access to Helium 10, and it is going to be a huge time saver to use it in order to organize everything. And not just a time saver, but a way that you can have checks and balances to make sure that all of your great keyword research that you've been doing is not going to waste. So, what are the tools that you're going to need? Let's first hop into just a pretend scenario here in Cerebro, so we can start creating a keyword list. All right. So back in the earlier weeks, we talked about, how to do keyword research, looking in Cerebro, looking in Magnet, pulling in keywords from brand analytics that Kevin said. And basically, maybe you have this entire list of keywords. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is start adding these keywords to something called My List, my keyword list. All right, let me show you how to do that. So the first step is getting the actual keyword phrases. All right, now this is important, and this is, I would say 95% of Helium 10 members do not understand this concept, but you have to have two main buckets of keywords. One are keyword phrases. This should be a maximum of 20-25 keyword phrases that are the most relevant to your niche and the highest search volume. All right. These are the ones that you have to generate sales for because they're generating sales for your main competitors. All right. So this is the list of 25 keywords. So let me just show you what you do with that list. So I'm just going to go here and let me just search for keywords with at least 500 searches where our coffin shelf is between 1 and 20. Again, this is not the extensive keyword research that you should be doing, but I'm just trying to get a list of like 20 keywords. So let me just try and narrow this down to like maybe 15 organic rank. And let's see, there we go, 27 keywords. So let's just pretend that this is the main list of keywords that we want to get in phrase form. Now, the reason why we have these two buckets here is you cannot put everything that you find in keyword research in phrase form in your listing. And what does phrase form mean? That means that if the keyword here is Manny's Mysterious Oddities, you have Manny's Mysterious Oddities in a phrase, not Manny's in the title, mysterious in the bullet points, and oddities in the description. I mean, you would still technically be indexed or searchable for that, but it's not sending Amazon like these relevancy signals for your listing. All right. So again, we can't put everything. We can't put 1,000 keywords in phrase form in our listing. There's just not enough space. So we have to prioritize. So where do we get those main keywords? Well, going back to that keyword research module, it would have been, in Cerebro, looking at your main competitor, in Cerebro, looking at the multi-ASIN using the advanced rank filters. Make sure here in Cerebro, you hit the learn button here at the top and learn how to get those top 20 keywords for your listing. All right. Let's just pretend that we did that. And these are the top 20 keywords for yours. All right. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to hit this button called add keywords to my list. And then I am going to create a new list here. So I'm actually going to hit this button here, create new folder. And let's go ahead and call this coffin shelf phrases or coffin shelf main. All right. And it's going to Amazon.com, the US website, and hit save. All right. So I create the new folder. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these keywords. Let's go ahead and add these keywords to my list. Let's do coffin shelf main. There it is. And now I added those 27 keywords. Now I got my phrase. Those are 27 keyword phrases. Now we're going to expand out our keyword list. So let me just go ahead and do like at least 200 searches. Again, I'm just trying to find a big set of random keywords, all right, that this product is ranking for. And let's just say organic rank 1 to 250. All right, let me see. I just want to get like 200 keywords. Wow, that's 1,900. That's too many. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit less. All right, 1,000 keyword phrases. That's probably too much, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, I would probably only want to rank for, the there's probably only going to be like maybe 600 or 700 maximum phrases that I might do in all my keyword research. We are going to pretend that all of these keywords are the ones that are relevant to my product and that I found in Cerebro, multiple searches. I found it in Magnet. Maybe I found it on Etsy. Maybe I found it in Brand Analytics, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm going to do is all of these keywords, I am going to add, let me just go do this 150 at a time. I'm going to add this to a new list. All right. So this I'm going to call, let me create a new folder here. And we're going to call this Coffin Shelf Additional. All right, you guys name it whatever you want, right? And let's go ahead and hit save. And let's go ahead and add these to that one, Coffin Shelf Additional. All right, so there's this page was added, and let me just go ahead and add another random page just so I can have like 300 or something here. Let's go ahead and copy all of these. All right, and add keywords to my list. And let's go Coffin Shelf Additional. There's now I have 300. Let's just go ahead and do another one. I'm just picking random keywords here again. This is not extensive keyword research. I just want to show you that, hey, how do we get, 450 keywords or so into my list? Let's go ahead and do that right now. In real life, you would have gotten all these keywords from your different Cerebro searches. You would have gotten it from your Magnet searches, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so now I should have about, 450 keywords or so in there. So what is the next step? All right, let's just talk really quick about why I did it this way. Okay, now I said that you don't have enough space in your listing to put everything in phrase form. There's 1,000 keywords, there's 700 keywords, whatever the case is. I can't put everything in phrase form, right? The other keywords that I want to be searchable for, but I don't necessarily need it in phrase form, I can just have the individual keywords and be indexed. All right, let me show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to another tool, Frankenstein. Let me go here to tools and let's go to Frankenstein. Now, this is our keyword processor. All right, what I want to do is I want to put all of those secondary keywords. I want to put all of those secondary keywords right into here and extract all the duplicates. All right. Now, remember, I added how many keywords to my list, my additional or secondary list? I added, I think it was 450, right? Let's go ahead and find those. I'm going to hit upload keywords from my list. Let's go to Coffin Shelf Additional. That was the one that I added. Here it is right here. And there it is. All right. So take a look here. All right. These are all of the keywords. And again, there's some nonsense keywords here like Teenage Frankenstein DVD. Obviously, that's probably not one of the main keywords for a Coffin Shelf, but you never know. Anyways, all of those keywords, even though it's only 450 phrases, it actually is 1,287 words and 8,000 characters make it up. Now, again, I don't have room for 8,000 characters in my listing or 1,200. However, that being said, take a look at some of these, keywords. Like I see coffin here, I see coffin down here, I see gothic, I see gothic, I see spooky, I see spooky. There's different duplications here. Now, the beauty about Amazon is I only have to have things once in my listing, theoretically speaking, to be indexed or searchable for it. So I don't need to have gothic like 75 times every time it's in a phrase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this keyword processor to right here remove the duplicates. All right, remove the duplicates. And I want to do one word or phrase per line. And let me go ahead and I want to remove the common words like a, and the. Remove single letters if there's any single letters in there. And now let's see how many keywords came up. Aha, look at that. There's only 479 unique words that came up. This is still probably too much. All right, this is still, I'll tell you right now, this might be still too much to get into your listing, but this is just for demonstration purposes. Normally, this would end up being a list of maybe 200 unique words, maybe. All right, but let's just keep rolling with this again for demonstration purposes. But did you see how we were able to knock it down within like seconds? I went from 1,200 words down to 479 words. So again, all of those 1,200 words that were made up of 450 phrases, there's actually only about 470 unique words that make up all of those phrases. All right. So let's go ahead and add this to another list. All right. Let me go ahead and copy these. Okay. I'm going to copy these keywords. So here's the other way you can get to my list. I'm going to show you the other way to create a list. I'm going to hit tools on the dashboard here and go to my list keywords. Keyword. This is our keyword manager. Now let's go ahead and add another folder. And let's call this the coffin shelf single words. All right. Let's go ahead and save that. All right. So here is coffin shelf single words. I'm going to go ahead and click there. There's nothing in here right now. All right. So I need to go ahead and add the individual keywords here. Let's go ahead and add keyword. Now watch this. It actually says here, enter up to 200 keywords separated by commas. Okay. So now if you remember in Frankenstein, I didn't separate it by commas, but watch this. Let me show you how cool this is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go back to Frankenstein. This is going to be really cool, guys. I should have done this earlier, but I didn't. I'm going to paste all those keywords. Remember all those keywords? These are the 479. I'm actually going to make this more realistic. We are not going to have 479 words. I'm going to keep it to that limit. So let me just take away all these other additional words. And let me see, what are we at now? We're at 186. There we go. Now, remember what Listing Builder said it needed? It needed a comma after that. Do I have to go to all 186 of these words and do comma? No, watch this. I'm going to go ahead and just add comma with space. Let me do that. And look at that. I got everything. I just did one click and it added a comma to all of those phrases. So let me go ahead and copy all of these. And now let me go back into the list or the my keyword list and add all of those. Enter 200 keywords separated by commas. There it is. And save. And boom. Look at that. Here are all of those individual keywords now have showed up here. So now I have 2 folders. I actually have 3 folders, but that other folder was just for Frankenstein. I've got my main folder, which has my phrases I want to be indexed for. And I also have my individual keywords that make up all those other phrases that I wanted to get indexed for. All right. So what tool do we get into now? Now we get into a new tool. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, I'm not sure if this is going to be active to you. Now, if you're watching this, in 2022, I guarantee you're going to have access to this tool. But this is a brand new tool that is actually right now in beta, and it's called the Listing Builder. All right. Before, our old listing optimization tool is called Scribbles. And for a while, we're actually still going to have a link to Scribbles, but we have a brand new tool that you might not even have in your own dashboard yet, depending on when you're watching this. And it's called Listing Builder. Let me show you guys how to use it. All right. Let's go to Listing Builder. All right. Right here in Listing Builder, I'm going to click on Add a Listing. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and create from scratch. All right. If you already have listings, the cool thing about this is I can start importing some listings from my own Seller Central, and that's already active on the internet or on Amazon, and I can actually import it here. We're going to worry about that at a later time. Let's go ahead and create this from scratch. All right. What is my marketplace? And enter an ASIN. Now, I don't have an ASIN yet. This is a brand new product I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this blank, and I'm going to hit Start Building. Now this pulls up this page. Now it might be a little bit different than what you see on the UI because, again, this is a brand new tool that is not fully released yet. But what I want to do is I need to go into my keyword bank and find my keyword listings. All right. So do you remember I have the coffin shelf main one with my 27? So let me go ahead and add that to my bank. There, I added all of those phrases. And then I have the coffin shelf single words. Let me see if I can show that to you guys here. Coffin shelf single words. There's 186 individual words. And let's hit add to bank. Now, again, super important. This is a mistake that most sellers make is they put all of their phrases all in here without splitting it up in Frankenstein first. It's very important. You only want to have a maximum of like 20 phrases in here because you can only get 20 phrases or 25 or 30 or 35 in phrase form. The rest need to be in here as individual keywords. Now look here in my keyword bank, I've got all of my individual keywords and all of my phrases. All right. Now let's go ahead and go to next. And now here we go. This is where I'm going to actually start writing the listing. All right. Now, if you notice here, there's 2 banks of keywords in my bank right here. All right, here's my individual words. These are sorted by word frequency. These are basically how many times these keywords show up on the bottom in the actual phrases. And speaking of the bottom, these are the phrases sorted by groups of search volume. All right, so again, there's phrases and there's individual keywords. Okay, now as you make your listing using all of those techniques that Kevin has been teaching you in this week's modules, you are making sure that you are crossing words off of your list. So let's just say this is a coffin shelf. I want to use a couple of these phrases here. Let me see, coffin shelf, large. Let's see, is there any other keywords that start with, coffin shelf for wall. I like that. I just want to see if there's any words at all that I can kind of like double up on here. Let's just do coffin shelf for wall. All right, here we go. So watch what happens when I do this. I'm going to start typing in here, coffin shelf for wall. Okay. Now, do you notice I just started typing this in right here, coffin shelf for wall, right? Do you notice what happened? Right over here, it recognizes that I have both coffin shelf and coffin shelf for wall in my listing. And so it gave me a little cross off of it. All right. At the same time, I use individual keywords, coffin, shelf, and wall. And here it is, coffin, shelf, and wall are now crossed off of my individual keywords. All right. So the goal of when you're writing your listing, as you write the product title, as you write the bullet points, as you write the description, as you write the search terms, as you write the subject matter, your goal is try and get all of your important keywords, phrases in phrase form in your listing. And again, you know that because you're getting a check mark through each one. And then all of the other keywords, the individual keywords, you need to get a check mark through here, having used them once in your listing. All right. So this is something that takes a long time. It's important to understand that, like Kevin has been talking about, you can't just keyword stuff. All right. You can't just throw in all these keywords randomly. All right. Amazon doesn't like that. Buyers don't like it. So try and tell a story. Try and make it, like in regular English, not just, basket, bath, beetle, bedding, Beetlejuice, bird, birthday. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Nobody's going to want to look at a listing like that, but you still got to get those keywords in there. So try and be creative how you can get all of these keywords in actual coherent sentences without making it seem like keyword stuffing. And you know what? You might not be able to get every single one, but you should try and make sure to have all of the individual keywords that make up these phrases at least in your listing. So this is what you are going to want to do to create your very first listing. Get all your keywords into your keyword list like we talked about. Step one is to get your main keyword phrases into a main list that has only your phrases. Step two, create an additional keyword bank of all of the other keyword phrases you want, but that you don't really need to get those in phrase form because you don't have enough room. They're like the secondary most important ones. And these again could come from Cerebro, they can come from Magnet, they can come from Brand Analytics, they can come from anywhere. Make a secondary list of those keywords. Then take that list and go into Frankenstein and extract all of the individual words that make up those secondary phrases, so that now you have another list of just individual words that you want to get in your listing. Start Listing Builder, start a listing from scratch, get all of the keywords in your listing, or all of the keywords from your keyword bank right there into Listing Builder, and then start writing your listing field by field, title, bullet points, descriptions, etc., making sure that you are crossing off all of your important keywords that you wanted to get searchable for. After that, the next step is you're going to want to go into actual Amazon Seller Central and copy and paste a lot of these fields into there so that you can create the listing. And in the next module, I'm going to show you exactly where you need to go in Seller Central in order to do that. I'll see you in the next module.